Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Paper Mario. Mario was called upon once again to save the world. No small task. Could he prevent Count Bleck from pulling off his sinister plot? Would Mario reunite with Princess Peach? A truly interdimensional adventure was about to begin. So yeah, every time you start a new chapter, not even just a new chapter, every chapter, like chapter 1-1, chapter 2-1-2, every little mini chapter, you will get that little recap, which can get annoying after a while because there's no reason to have those recaps. At the beginning of every full world, sure. Now I love how they draw the world when you first enter it. They'll draw the what it looks like. I always like that. That's what I mean by being creative. They do a lot more. Like, there's math in the sky. It's very creative with how they design the worlds. The art design is very creative for this game. Which I really like. So we gotta find Bestovius to learn a dimensional technique, as Tippy says. I don't think I mentioned that last time. So we have to use her power, which is pointing the Wiimote at the screen, and Tippy will focus to where you point, and then she's basically she's taking over Goombella's or Goombella or Goombario's role of tallying. You can point her at an enemy, and it will allow you to find out information about them. I don't find myself using that power all that much, but there's times you'll need to in order to find hidden objects. Mushroom, grab at these to recover HP. So, yeah, if you find a mushroom in the world, it will recover your HP automatically. There is an item to recover your HP whenever you want to, like like it was in the RPG games. Because there are items you can use that you can use whenever. Sometimes you'll find items that automatically initiate when you grab them in the field, but there are also, again, items that you can have with you and store with you. Like this one, the Shroom Shake. So yeah, if I ever wanted to revive my HP, I would just have to go in my items menu and grab the Shroom Shake out. It's quite handy. And yeah, the enemies also are quite interesting, because there are some classic Mario enemies. There's also some very strange enemies. It's not a bad thing, but it would be nice to... I guess it's not a bad thing. I mean, you're going through different dimensions. This isn't the Mushroom Kingdom, so logically, you wouldn't see the normal fare of characters that you would see in the Mushroom Kingdom. And this is a catch card. When you get one catch card, you will double your attack power against the enemy of the catch card you got. If you get two, you will, triple, and if you, depending on how many you get, the more you get, the more damage you'll do against the enemy. So it's great. It's great to get catch cards. If you have trouble defeating some enemies. Ultimately, the game's again not that difficult unless you're just very careless, because they try to make have RPG elements for platform, but really platforming games aren't that difficult. So adding the RPG elements actually makes it a little bit more easy. And here we have... Hello. So this is Bestovius. He is the Flip Wizard. Audacity to address my multicolored glory. And how did these flimsy whiskers detect my secret door? Red shirt, white gloves, jaunty cap. Ha! You are garbed in the rich clothes of the hero of prophecy. You must be the great... hero impersonator. Really? I mean, you couldn't even consider the fact that we might actually be the hero? No. No. But yeah, I am the hero, Mario is the hero, and we have come to find Bestovius because Bestovius will bestow upon us the power to flip dimensions. Now, I don't really like this element personally. It's not... It kind of adds another dimension, get it, it's punny, but yeah, it does kind of add another dimension to the gameplay, but because I'm a completionist of sorts, I constantly find myself wanting to flip constantly. And, it kind of takes away, because every time you enter a new area, you'll want to flip to find the secrets. And sometimes I just want to just keep playing and not worrying about flipping, so... I almost feel like they shouldn't have included the flipping aspect, but it's not a bad aspect. It's interesting, and only Mario can do it, so it's not like you have to do it. There's some areas that, of course, flipping. That's the problem. Is there's some areas that flipping does nothing, but you never know what area is gonna have nothing in it. So either that, or you just don't worry about any secrets, and you just play the game normally. Flim flap, flippity flu, zip zop, zoopity bop, shaboom. And yeah, he mentioned a nominal fee, but if you say no, you won't have to pay the fee. I mean, come on, you're gonna charge the hero for learning moves? Who would do that? That's dumb. I, Bestovius, have granted you the ability to flip between dimensions. A will allow you to slip between 3D and 2D. And it will allow you to find new secrets and also different accents and solve puzzles as well. And they're breaking the fourth wall. That's another thing, is a lot of the jokes in this game do seem to be a little bit more forced than in the past. They force the fourth wall jokes a little bit more than they, you know, I think it's old after the 5th time they use the whole A button joke. Frankly did that. Use the flip ability to flip into 3D. Flip in between 2D and 3D to get through tricky situations and find secrets. While you're flipping the flip gauge, this is the other thing, is your flip gauge, when that runs out, you will start to take damage. And that's another aspect that I don't really like, because if I'm going to flip into 3D, I want to constantly be in the 3D. Now, there is a way to make it so that your flip gauge never runs out, but that I won't be able to do that for a while. And spoilers. So, yeah, I don't really... I'm not going to get into how to be doing that just yet. If you want to, look it up on game FAQs, because I'm sure there will be a fact about it. Basically, you have to just go through a really long side quest of sorts, kind of a side quest of sorts, and you can't really even do it right now anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a big deal, and all you do is take 1 bit of damage. It's not that hard to heal your damage anyway. Here we have Pal Pills. I like these guys, because they're not all that useful, but they're 8-bit Marios, and they follow you like little, you know, servants, little slaves. It's pretty awesome. I like the little Pal Pills. So yeah, basically you're going to want to slip into 3D a lot in case there's any secrets, and also to, you know, it will aid in finding ways to get around. Like sometimes... I will admit it is interesting how they did 3D. For example, you see a pipe usually. You know how there's a pipe, and when you exit out of this pipe, and I don't show this, but when you exit out of this pipe, you come out of the same pipe. They show when you flip into 3D, there's actually a pipe behind it and a pipe forward. There's 2 different pipes there, and because you're in 2D, it looks like you're coming out of the same pipe, but in 3D, as you see, there is actually 2 pipes, and like stuff like that. I like how they ended up. I like how they did that. It was pretty interesting. And it's, you know, the way they designed the 3D and compared to the 2D worlds, and how they explained, you know, why, kind of an explanation as to why certain things work out. I like what they did with that, personally. But, again, I don't necessarily know if the 3D aspect was needed. It's not a horrible aspect, though. So here we have standard Mario enemies. There's not really an explanation as to why they're here. Though, as you will find out, they're being, you know, controlled by Black. But, so I'm assuming he just transported them here. This is the bit, or no, what is it? This is the Linelands. So I'm assuming these guys aren't natural inhabitants of this area. I assume, maybe not. Maybe their school was just randomly in the Linelands. So yeah, basically this is standard Mario platformer of sorts, but obviously heavy on the text. You know, I like that fact that Wii has really been. I don't hide the fact that I really love 2D games. I've always been a fan of 2D over 3D personally, and I really like the fact that the Wii has had not only great 3D games, but also really great 2D games as well. It's been the return of 2D games. You saw the N64. There really wasn't any 2D games on the N64. There was a few, like Mischief Makers, but for the most part, there was not that many 2D games. And then SNES. No, I'm going backwards, and obviously, yes, there was 2D games. GameCube, there wasn't really any 2D games either, for the most part. The Wii, we've had Super Paper Mario is a 2D platformer, and I mean 2D game platformer, I guess, or 2D games in terms of platformer, but other games as well. But we had this game, we had New Super Mario Bros. Wii, we had Donkey Kong Country Returns, Kirby's Epic Yarn, Royal Land Shake It, you know, and they're all really great games, and the list just goes on. They're all, you know, a lot of them are very creative and innovative too. They're not just the Kirby's Epic Yarn. I don't feel like is a rehash. I don't feel Royal Land Shake It is really that much of a rehash either. People could say it was Super Mario Bros. Wii is to an extent, and I could agree with them to an extent, but it's still, in my opinion, a great game. But yeah, as much as we've had 2D games, we also had great 3D games, like, even though I personally don't think so, the Metroid Prime, we had, I've just never been a fan of the Prime games. Galaxy 1 and 2, they're coming out with Skyward Sword. I don't count Twilight Princess because, some people wouldn't cite that as a great game. I like it personally, but it's not a Wii game. It's a GameCube game that just happened to be ported to the Wii to take advantage. You know, that whole situation just kind of sucked in general. And yeah, you level up whenever you kill enough enemies, so the more enemies you kill, the more you level up, so you might as well kill enemies, because it's not that hard to kill them. But yeah, people think of it, Twilight Princess as being a Wii game, but in reality, it never was and never will be. It was made for the GameCube, and then at the last second, they decided to keep it on the GameCube, but also port it to the Wii, so they flipped the entire game around to make Link right-handed for the Wii mote mechanics, and then released the Wii version first, and then the GameCube version. So really, the GameCube version got quite screwed in the long run, but, you know, it is a GameCube game. There hasn't. Skyward Sword is actually the first true Wii game to that will be for the Wii, or the first true. Wait, I say Wii game that'll be for the Wii. The first true Zelda game that'll be for the Wii. But yeah, I'm glad that there's a return to 2D gaming because I've always preferred 2D gaming over 3D gaming. Not that there's any problem with 3D gaming. I think there should be 3D games, but I like 2D gaming as a style, you know. And here we have a Mega Star. This is basically similar to the Mega Mushroom in New Super Mario Bros. Wii for the not New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. But it makes you become an 8-bit version of yourself, which is pretty cool. And you can just run around and stomp and crush people. Yay! I always don't like using this though, because I always worry I'm missing some kind of secret in between here. I don't think there ever is though, but don't quote me on that. Level up, attack one up by one. And yeah, we'll switch between your attack going up and your HP going up, I believe. And before we go to the exit, which is that star block, we have a secret over here, which will net us another catch card. Koopa Troopa card. Yay! I love getting catch cards. Yeah, there's some of these secrets like that. And here is the end of the chapter. Oh, look, crystal stars. So this has been Maker 400, and I am reminding you to love pudding.